Hello students, this is lesson 22, which is a review to help you prepare for your second exam for this course. So lesson 22 is kind of a review. These are things that you should already know. Now notice I went ahead and put my comments in. So I have my name and the lesson, exam 2 review. And of course I didn't put the date, but you should. You should be putting the date. This helps you, and it also gets you in that practice when you actually start programming to make these kind of documentations in your software. Most companies do require that you document what you're doing so that if something were to happen, maybe you got sick or whatever, someone else could step in and take over and know what it was you were up to, okay? All right, so here are our header files, IOStream. That means we're going to be using cin and cout and maybe get and a few other things. String, we know what that is, a string variable, so we're going to be using those. And file stream, that means we're going to be getting or either getting data from or putting data to a file, or maybe both, right? So anytime you work with files, you need fstream header file or preprocessor file, they call it. So you need that if you're going to work with files at all. And I noticed some of you got that wrong on the exam. So please make sure you get it right this time. It's fstream, file stream, okay? Then there are two different types of file streams. We'll get into that in a second. Here is function main, the start of it. And here are some notes. So I'm not going to show all of the answers because I want you to try to guess as we go along. Like I said, this is a review. So name the 3 loops that we've talked about this semester. So far, what are the 3 loops that you've learned about? I'll give you a second. Did you guess? Here's the solution. For, while, and do while. Of these 3 loops, one is fundamentally different. Which one is that? So which loop is different from the others? Okay, we learned about 3, for, while, and do while. One of these are not like the others. Can you tell me which one? Okay, you should know. Have you guessed? It's do while. Why? Why is do while different from the other 2? Give you a second. You should know this real quick though. Okay, it's because the exit condition is located at the end of the loop. So that means it will always execute at least once. It'll do the execution of the loop, then check to see if your expression is false, and then do the loop again, and then check after it. It always does the first initial part of the loop before it checks. And that's why it's different from the other 2. How are the other 2 loops different? You should know, I just explained it. Okay. They may not execute at all because their exit condition is at the beginning of the loop. So it may check it, find it to be false, and not even execute it ever. So that makes it, those 2, the for and while loops, different from the do while. The do while checks at the end of the loop, so that means it always goes through that first round of the loop and then checks, and then goes through the second round and then checks. Whereas the for and while loops check and then do the loop. Check, then do the loop. Okay? Whoops, where did it go? Scroll down here. What is the output of the below code? So let me scroll down. Okay. This code, if you were to get output, what would it be? I'll let you think a minute. Okay, you should know. Okay, so it starts out at 0, cout 0, then it goes back around the loop. Now we're going to add 25 every time. So the next cout, right, so it does 0, then the next cout, we've added 25, so it's less than 100 or less than or equal to 100. So we would see out a 25 on the next line because we have an end line here. Then it add 25, go around, now it's 50, right? It's still less than or equal to 100. So it would see out 50, go to the next line, okay? Then we add 25 more, so it'd be 75. It would check this. It's still true, so it would see out 75, go to the next line. Then it would add 25 more, and now it's 100. And this is true because it does have equal to here. So it's see out 100, go to the next line, add 25 more, now it's 125. This is no longer true, so the loop would end. So you'd have 0 on one line, 25 on the next line, 50 on the next line, 100 on the next line, and then the loop will end. You should be able to analyze programs like this and get the solutions. You should understand how it operates and be able to figure it out. All right, so let's go up and discuss these letters above each section. Letter A, that's this right here. This is the starting point of our loop. We start counting from here, and here we started with 0. But it could be any number you choose when you program, okay? But it's starting with 0. And then this is B. This is the stopping point. This is what causes the loop to stop. When this is no longer true, as long as it's true, the loop will continue. Once it's not true, the loop ends. And then C, this is the value in which we want to count by. So here we're counting by 25. We could count by 1, by 10, by 100, whatever works for our program. Okay. Here, A++ is the same as A equals A plus 1. A minus equal 25 is the same as A equals A minus 25. And I explained these earlier. A minus 25 equal A. Okay. So these are equivalent to these over here. What is the output of the below code? Okay, let's look at the code. And I'll give you a second to look at it. What is the output? Did you get it? All right, let's look at it real quick. Integer A equals 10. So we have an integer. The variable is A, and it's been assigned the value of 10. While A is less than or equal to 5, well, that's not true. It's starting out as 10. And then if we go through this loop at all, even if we get to do this loop, at this point we can't even do the loop because it starts out as false. So we never do the loop. But even if we could, this adds 1. So this becomes 11, 12, 13, 14. This will never be true. Okay? So therefore, this loop will never execute. There is no output for this loop. Okay?